New 1370 The Buzz. The Buzz.
Thank you for tuning in to Suki Says. I have my special guest co-host for the next hour, Kimberly. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Now, I asked you, sometimes I get a little lonely. Everybody goes upstairs and they leave me down here all by myself, and I'm thinking, you know what, I want a guest co-host. So I was on my Facebook and I saw a couple of your pictures, and you've got some pretty cool shots. You've got some shots that you don't get unless you are behind the scenes.
Right,
so
right.
Tell me a little bit about behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. Well, on a Hollywood film, it's pretty awesome. It's a whole different world. I love being there, and you just get to really see what's going on, how they make the movies, how they, how long it really takes, get to meet the bigger stars, work with them. It's hard to explain. I mean, you would have to be there to really experience the whole thing.
The everything.
The everything.
Now, when did you start acting? Because you're a home girl. You're a hometown girl. Where are you from?
Right. I'm from Norristown, Pennsylvania.
So you are one of our local celebrities getting up there.
I am.
And that makes me very happy because that just, I love that. I love it.
I love it. I'm getting somewhere finally.
What was your first thing that you did?
I worked on Invincible. It was the film about Vince Papale. He played for the Eagles back in the 70s, which was played by my buddy, Mark Wahlberg. And that film just completely, changed my life.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You were there and you were like, yes.
Yes.
This right here.
I am here.
This is it.
And there was a lot of things that happened to me on set of that film that really was never expected.
Yeah?
Yes.
Like what?
Just the whole experience of it. I was on set with Mark a lot. I got to talk to him. I got to know him. He gave me some pointers. It's just a level of going from wanting to do it to being there and experience the whole. I can't even explain it.
What made you want to do it in the first place? Because I remember the casting calls. I think Hiri
casting.
Hiri. I love. Diane called in a couple months ago when we were talking about one of her upcoming casting calls. I love her, by the way.
I do too. I work. Most of my work comes through them.
I've done 2 or 3 things with Hiri, and they're great. So I just assumed it was through Hiri if it was the Philly. If it's Philly, it's Hiri. But what made you? Did you see it and you were like, oh, that would be fun, or did someone else say, let's go with me?
What happened was I always wanted to do it as a child, and my parents, they put me in dancing school when I was 3, and it just escalated from there. I went from a 3-year-old ballerina tap dancer. I went all the way through school being on the dance team and going to dancing school, and then I just, for some reason, it was just in me. I just wanted to keep going, become something bigger. I tried out for the Eagles cheerleaders twice. And
those girls are tall.
Yes, they
are so tall. We are short women in the studio right now.
I know.
We're so little.
Talk about intimidation.
You walk up and it's like looking up at a shaved Wookiee. Yes.
I tried. That's what you
can
do.
Props, because I don't know if I would even be able to, because, I'm not, first of all, I'm not flexible. I'm more like a rugby. I can kick your tuchus, but I can't bend. So, yeah. I can knock you out, but I can't throw you in the air and all that. But props. You have my mad respect for doing that, because those girls are Amazons.
Right. Yeah. I didn't realize what was really involved with that until I actually went down there to try out.
It's very physical. It's
very physical. Day. It's very competitive. And you better know what you're doing.
Oh, yeah. I have a friend who, she's I don't remember what team, but she's a basketball cheerleader, right? I think the 76ers, but she was talking to me about it, and she said that you take the absolute cutthroatness of beauty pageants and you mix it with the insatiable athletic competitiveness of cheerleading,
Right.
from like high school and college, and you throw it in a blender and you like add crack.
Uh-huh.
That's what it's like.
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. Well, I thought I would be good at it because I was in dancing school all my life. Like I said, I was on the dance team when I was in high school, on the drill team, all that. I was pretty good at dancing.
I believe it.
And when I went to the Eagles cheerleading tryouts, I tried.
Was
But
it a reality check?
It
'Cause I've had
was.
a lot of those.
It was, but I knew. I always knew what I wanted to do. I just kept putting it off. I got married, had children, but through all my life, like it was just in my mind. It was there.
So when you finally went for Invincible, it was like, was it
Back
like a
in-
nervous, happy confidence? Because that's what when I did my first. Because I did a couple of. I'm a radio girl, but like I've dabbled in some films. So I did stuff through here, and so I get that like you're going in, and you're like, yeah, but you're like, da-da-da.
I wasn't nervous. When I started out as an actor, I started out in background.
That's where
That's
a lot of
basically
people
where
start.
a lot of your big movie stars all started. But as time went on, I started picking up speaking parts and really learning the craft. I took 3 years of classes for it through Pro Models out in Bethlehem, and I took some classes through Diane Heary.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, when I'm there, I know I'm in the right place.
That home feeling.
Mm-hmm. It just brings something out of me that nothing else can.
That's passion. I like
It
that.
is. It is. And you know when you're with something like that, you know when you're there if that's where you're supposed to be.
But yeah, as soon as I sit
You-
in front of a microphone, I'm like, mm-hmm.
See? You know. You know. You know.
I got this.
Right.
As soon as I start messing around with playlists and talking about stuff, I'm just like, mm-hmm. It's that home feeling.
Uh-huh.
All right, we're going to take a slight musical break, and then we're going to come back and talk about where you've been and where people can find you on the screen.
Okay.
Bit about stories and trading stories, and I will trade you a Mark for a Mark. If you give me a Mark Wahlberg story, I will give you a Mark Hamill story.
Okay. Well,
Do you want time to think?
no, I don't
Okay,
have
you
to
got
have
it.
time to think because there's a lot of them. But
Like, I got this.
yeah, I got this. I got this one. Well, first, I've worked on so many films with him that that it got to the point where, you know, we knew each other. And the one thing that really, he just does something for me as an actor, as a person. He inspired me from day one. The thing that excited about him that excited me the most was the very first time that the very first night that we worked on Invincible. We were doing this football scene in the stadium, in the stands, and we were going back to wardrobe. Now this was 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're switching into our other clothes, and this is how I first met him. I was walking back to wardrobe, and everybody else was ahead of me because, you know, I'm just so slow sometimes, but
You know what? It's our small legs.
it is. And you know what, though? It was well worth it. So I was walking back to wardrobe, and I just happened to look to my right, and there he was. He was sitting on the curb all by himself in back of his makeup trailer, hair and makeup trailer. And I said hi to him, and ever since then, you know, it just rolled on,
Friends.
got bigger.
Rolled on like a big old friendship snowball.
Yes. And anyway, another thing that really excited me about the whole thing with him is that back in, I believe it was 2008, 2009. I think it was 2009. They were filming The Lovely Bones in Royersford.
Yes, it's another hometown glory thing.
Right.
I love it. I love when people realize that the movie they're watching was filmed a couple miles away from them. You know, signs and all of that.
Right. The Happening was also filmed up here. I also worked on that film, and I was working for Giant at the time, and I was working full time, so I was going between my job and working in films. Like on my vacation time, I would work on films, and I worked with a lot of nice people, so they would, you know, switch their days with me, so I could, you know, go do my thing. And before I go on, I just want to say hi to Stephen Baker. He worked with me at Giant.
Aww. Hi, Stephen.
I miss him. And anyhow, while I was working there, they were filming The Lovely Bones, and I have a friend, Chris, that does craft services, and he's really good friends with Mark. And he would come into the job because they were so close. They were maybe 2 blocks away from where I worked.
Oh, okay.
And they were so close that he would come in and buy the food there.
For craft services. For those
craft
of you
services.
who are not up on the lingo, craft services means the food you be eating on set.
Right on. And it's good.
It is good.
Yeah, Chris would come in and he would buy snacks and stuff for the snack table. And I met him before that when I had filmed The Mighty Max.
Oh, my friend was in that.
I was in that. I played a nun. Just went to the premiere back in October.
Please tell me there were just a lot of nonsense going on.
There was a lot of nonsense going on. But it was all good. It was all fun.
I can't say no to a good pun.
Yeah, it was good. I never thought I'd be in the habit, but yeah, you know, being an actor, there's nothing that you can't do, nothing that you can't become.
Oh man, I love it. I know what you mean. I do. Have you heard of Tony and Tina's Wedding? I do it off Broadway.
Oh wow!
Every couple weekends, and I was just in it last week, and I'm going to be in it again this coming weekend. And so I've played a nun. During that, it's a dinner theater, so it's
you know what that feels like.
I do know what it feels like, but I'm like, well, spoiler alert: the nun ends up. I think the nun ends up getting drunk during the show, so you have to go see it. And
Okay.
I've played everything from the nun to the stripper.
I've done that.
You played a stripper?
No, I've went from a nun to a prostitute with the Demi Moore film.
Which one?
Happy Tears.
I haven't seen that. Is it good?
It would not be 30. That would be per
You had fun?
I'm going to plead the fifth.
Aw.
$34.
It didn't do very well.
That doesn't mean anything.
I had fun, though.
That's good.
There was only 4 of us on set that day. 4 actors on set that day, and that's the first time I've seen prostitutes get treated like queens.
What, Pretty Woman didn't do it?
We got treated very well that day.
That's awesome.
Very well.
That's awesome.
But back to my story with the Lovely Bones. While Chris was coming in, he was buying the snacks for the craft services table, and we were talking, and he went back down to set, and talking to Mark, he told him that he seen me there, and he was talking to me. So they actually came back up 11:30 at night
Mark
to come
did?
back in the store to see me.
Aww.
So yeah,
That's so sweet.
I got to meet his brothers and talk to them for a while, and then I got personally invited back down the set.
Oh
to
my
hang
gosh.
out.
Were you like, eep?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was. When I got back down though, Mark was still on the street doing his filming his scenes. So
Oh, he must put in like 80-hour days. Not weeks, 80-hour days.
we were a lot of times on set. We're there 60